Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Thanks for tuning back in. This is DFJ Hoops. This is the second live straight today. I wasn't planning on doing another live, but after this game right here, I was like, why not? I should just go live and talk about this game right here and not wait any longer to talk about this playing game that happened between the 76ers and the Miami Heat. But um just in case anybody's watching, just please make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't subbed to the channel yet, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, so you don't miss any videos released on this channel or anytime I go live. Let's talk about this game right here. Let me get into this comments right here. Shout out to my guy Humble Man 420. Shout out to you, bro. I appreciate you for stopping by. He says Philly is going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Hey, I believe that. I definitely believe that. I believe we have a chance to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. But let's get into this game right here and talk about what transpired and what happened in this game tonight. So the 76ers took on the Miami Heat. This was the first playing game in the Eastern Conference. We did see the playing games in the Western Conference yesterday with the New Orleans Pelicans and the Los Angeles Lakers, and we saw the second game, which was the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings. But tonight, the Miami Heat took on the 76ers in Philly, and the Miami Heat were dealing with injuries. They had a couple players out. Duncan Robinson was out for them, and I think uh, Terry Rozier was also out for the Miami Heat, if I'm not mistaken. Now, with the 76ers, Robert Covington was out. DeAnthony Melton was out too. He hasn't played too much ever since he returned from his injury, so he didn't play. He was given rest, and a few others didn't play. We didn't see Jeff Dowtin Jr. in this game right here. We didn't see Ricky Council the fourth. We didn't see a couple players, but the 76ers were still able to win this game tonight and punch their ticket into the 2024 NBA playoffs. Now, let's talk about what happened in the game and let's break everything down. So, on the first quarter, the first play of the game, Tobias Harris knocks down an 18-footer. Now, that play right there, it was off a broken play because they did run that the 76ers ran their flip action into a dribble handoff and the look was not there. And we were trying to run another play, but that play didn't work right there. So Tobias Harris wound up and he ended up having the ball with about 4 seconds left on the clock. And he did a step back 18-foot jump shot. And that was good to go. And I was even shocked that he was able to make that because usually we don't see Tobias Harris take, shots like that. I'm talking about step back jump shots. He really doesn't take shots like that, but he was able to take that and he made it. So you you just give him props on it and you hope that shots like that gets him in the rhythm. Now, the 76ers to start this game right here, they had Tyrese Maxey and Kyle Lowry in the backcourt, and in the front line, they had Tobias Harris, as we talked about him, Kelly Oubre, and Joel Embiid as the center. That was the starting five. And for the Miami Heat, they had Tyler Hero, right? They had Tyler Hero and Caleb Martin starting, and then they had Jimmy Butler. They had Nikola Jovic, not Jokic, but Nikola Jovic, and they had Bam Adebayo as the starting center for them. Now, I was concerned with Jimmy Butler because later down in the first quarter he did go down with that knee injury, but he was still able to stay in the game and he played to the end. So I just hope that he's good to go for the Miami Heat come Friday because they have to face the winner of this Chicago Bulls Atlanta Hawks to figure out who gets the eighth seed. So hopefully he's good to go. That was definitely terrible watching that. But um in this game right here, you could tell that Kyle Lowry wanted the smoke and he was on every side of the floor. Now, there was a play where he got a steal and he gave it to Maxey and Maxey scored. And there was another play where he got a steal, he passed it off, he ran to the three-point line, he made the three. And then after making that three, he sprinted back on defense and got to pick up Jimmy Butler. Now he started off, guarding Jimmy, which I didn't know why because I thought Kelly Oubre was going to start on Jimmy Butler, but he didn't start on Jimmy Butler. And Kyle Lowry he took that assignment, and Kyle Lowry did a solid job on him. I mean, you can't stop Jimmy Butler, but the best thing you could hope is to make sure you get in his way, try to make it difficult for him. And Kyle Lowry's not, he's not an easy player to push around on the perimeter. Now, I mean, it's easy for Jimmy Butler to just turn and shoot over the top of him because Kyle Lowry's only like 6 foot, 6'1", and Jimmy Butler's 6'7", 6'8". But Kyle Lowry was able to hold his own. In the post, he was solid. He was not, able to push around. But Jimmy Butler did get a couple takes to the basket where he just drove past them and just finished at the basket. And those plays right there, there's nothing you can do about him. There's nothing you can do about it when Jimmy Butler gets in his bag like that. Humble says, I'm a big fan of Kyle Lowry and Max. Tyrese. Okay. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. You a huge fan of Kyle Lowry and Maxi combo. Okay. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of it too. But when it's not working, it gets a little bit tough for the Sixers because they're too small in the backcourt, and I feel like people take advantage of them defensively. Yeah. Kyle did get it done. Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, but I mean, today's world, you got to put pause and no homo. I mean, yeah, because people might take it the wrong way, but yeah, he has a what you call it? He has a wide frame in the sense. I think that's the best way to put it. But um, let's talk about what else happened in the first quarter. Now, in the first quarter, Embiid was being aggressive, and he was getting, he was going down low, being physical, and he ended up putting Bam in foul trouble. So Bam was in early foul trouble, so he had to take a seat. And Kevin Love did check in for the game. And me personally, I think Kevin Love did a solid job as the center. He did try his best to make it a little bit difficult for Embiid. Kevin Love is only 6'8", and Embiid is 7'1", 7'2". But him coming in and playing that center position and forcing Embiid into help, getting help when needed, and Embiid, sometimes turning the ball over because he was being a ball stopper. Now we already know Embiid is a ball stopper. I've said this multiple times, but sometimes we just need him to play fast, play quick, make the quicker decisions, and don't try to make things difficult on yourself. But sometimes Embiid just doesn't learn. And there was a play where he was on the block, he was posting up somebody, and he was already being double teamed. And then Jimmy Butler came from his blind spot, and he poked the ball, and he win a score on the other end, and that was a Joel Embiid turnover. I think Jimmy Butler got Embiid multiple times on that same, on a similar play like that. I think he got Embiid twice on that, and he got Batum on that once on the inbound pass. So Jimmy Butler was definitely doing his thing. I think he finished with 5. Yeah, he did finish. He did finish with 5 steals, but offensively, Jimmy Butler didn't really have it going. He was 5 of 18 from the field. That is so terrible. That is definitely so terrible. But he finished with 19 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. And like I said, he had 5 steals in that game. And 3 of those steals came by just poking the ball from Embiid and poking the ball from Nico Batum. So those were some of how he got his steals. And I think 2 of them came in the passing lanes where he played in the passing lanes, and especially in that second quarter, because they really did a good job defensively on the Sixers in the second quarter, which I'm gonna get to. But yeah, Jimmy did have a solid game defensively, but offensively, with the shooting percentages, it don't really look good. 27% is not really looking good for Jimmy. But defensively, I think Jimmy was solid defensively. But like I said, Jimmy Butler stealing the ball, and Embiid had to make, he had to he was supposed to be make good decisions early, not hold on to the ball that much, and just try to make your job a little bit more easier, because the Miami Heat, they play a lot of zones, they double team a lot, they triple team a lot. So the best thing that you should be doing is to make the right play every single time, because MB should know teams are going to double you, and he should anticipate double teams. If you're that good, if you're I'm not even going to say that great. If you're that good, you should expect teams to double team you every single time. So the best thing you could do is to just get rid of the ball early as possible and try to put somebody in a better just try to put somebody in a better spot to be successful. Don't hold on to the ball and then pass it off to somebody with about 2 seconds or a second left on the clock, because that's just a bad possession right there. Now guys can make shots like that, but it's just a bad shot in my opinion. So um Embiid had to do a better job on that. So I'm definitely getting on Embiid on that in particular. But the Sixers did also make it hard on the Miami Heat. Miami went 0 for 6 from the three to start the first half, and they started. I think with about 3 minutes left in the game, that's when they started running zones, and the Sixers were having a lot of issue trying to crack down the zone. And the Sixers ended up scoring, I think, 23 or 25 points in the first quarter. It wasn't a high scoring first quarter, in my opinion. It was only 22 points, and the Miami Heat ended up scoring 23. So in the first quarter, it wasn't really a high scoring first quarter, because both teams were playing defense, both teams were missing shots, both teams were missing like easy shots, both teams were not making their threes, and it just made everything difficult for them, in my opinion. But the second quarter comes around, and Jimmy Butler starts going off for the Miami Heat. Now, in my pregame live, I did say that in order to guard Jimmy, you should not be falling on his pump fakes. And he did get a lot of players on those pump fakes. He got Kelly Oubre on that pump fake, and he got Embiid on that pump fake as well. But when he got Embiid on that pump fake, he didn't get to the free throw line. But the pump fake on Kelly Oubre, which I don't even know how Kelly fell for that. I mean, he went up so high, his head was almost at the level of the rim. I was like, bro, how how can you fall how can you fall for that shot fake? I mean, we all fall for shot fakes, but I mean, how the level at which Kelly Oubre got, I mean, his head was almost at the level of the rim. I was just like, yo, this is so unbelievable. But that's when Kelly Oubre came down and fell or landed on Jimmy Butler's knee, and Jimmy Butler was in a lot of pain, so he had to take the free throws and check out and work that knee up a little bit. But Jimmy did check back into the game, and everything did seem good for him. But everything was going good for the Miami Heat, and things were just going so terrible for the Sixers. Now, the Sixers had a lot of empty possessions, a lot of empty offensive possessions in that second quarter. But like I said, the Miami Heat were playing zone, and the 76ers had difficult times trying to figure out that zone. Now, I did say in my pregame live that in order to beat a zone, all you need is, I mean, not all you need, but the basic things you need is a good passer, good cutters, and good shooters. Um, Shout out to my guy Tuna Sports for, yeah, I appreciate you for stopping by again, bro. He says if only if Jimmy didn't, man, stop it, stop it, stop it. We not nah, we're not doing that, bro. We're not doing that. He came back into the game. He played 30 plus minutes. I don't care, bro. I don't care. He played 39 minutes, almost 40 minutes. So we're not doing that injury thing. No, we're not doing that, bro. We're not doing that. So I appreciate your comment, but we're not doing that, bro. So the Sixers did struggle a lot in that second quarter, and that was because the Miami Heat were playing some smart and good zone defense. Now, the Miami Heat is the only team that runs a lot of. I mean, they're the team that run the most zone defenses in the NBA. I think they run the most, if I'm not mistaken. The team in second place, they're nowhere close to the amount of times that the Miami Heat run zone defenses. And the Miami Heat were getting, they were getting a lot of production from their bench players. I mean, Kevin Love came off the bench; he was solid for them. Dylan Wright came off the bench, was solid, and Haywood Heisman came off the bench, and he was solid too. And at a point, they had their bench players had 13 points combined, and the 76ers had 0 points combined. And we had Buddy Hield at the time. He came off the bench, wasn't giving you anything. Nico Batum came off the bench, wasn't giving you anything. Paul Reed came off the bench, and he didn't really give you anything. But it was so bad that the Sixer fans started booing the team. And in the process of them booing the team, I think Tobias Harris had a he had an easy bunny like right under the basket, and he missed that shot. And the booze was just it was just getting crazy. And they continued to boo the team, boo Tobias Harris, boo every. They were booing Embiid because Embiid was being lazy with some of his passes, holding on to the ball sometimes, just turning the ball over, not making the smart passes. And the fans started booing the team. But I really appreciate how the fans booed the team, because I think that really motivated the 76ers to play better in the second half, and they did exactly it. Um, Tuna Sports says Jimmy got hurt, but he still played through it. Bro, it don't bro, it don't matter, bro. He still played. He was supposed to be better. 5 of 18. That's playoff Jimmy. That's playoff Jimmy. How many points did he have? I think he had like 19 points or something like that. Yeah, 19 points. That's playoff Jimmy. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But he says Jimmy was limping out of the arena. He's hurt, man. But credit to y'all for winning. Yeah, you gotta give us credit. But I mean, bro, injuries are a part of the game. I mean, you know how many times Embiid got hurt and we lost? Not once, like bro, multiple times. But nobody talks about it. Why? Because nobody cares. Now I have a Knicks fan in the chat. Shout out to you, bro, Rick03. We gonna definitely see y'all Saturday night. I think at 6 o'clock. This series, this is the Knicks is gonna be a hell of a series. Now, Game 5 is gonna be on April 30th. Now, April 30th is my birthday, so hopefully the Sixers can get a win on April 30th. But I appreciate you for stopping by, bro. Please make sure you hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe, bro. I appreciate you, but the Sixer fans were booing the team, and I think that motivated them to play a lot better. But in the second quarter, it wasn't really. It was so terrible for the 76ers. And the Miami Heat were playing some good defense, and they forced. I think at some point they forced the Sixers into 3 straight turnovers. I think Maxey had 2 turnovers in a row, and Buddy Hield had a turnover too. And Miami, they absolutely capitalized on the Sixers turnovers. I think at some point in the second, the Sixers had 11 turnovers and Miami scored 15 points off of those turnovers. So they were doing a solid job defensively and making it tough for the 76ers, not giving them any breathing room, neutralizing Embiid, blitzing Maxey, every single time, catching him off guard, putting 2 on the ball when he's not expecting it. And they definitely made it hard. They made it hard for Maxey, but then Nico hit a 3. He hit a 3 in the corner, and then after that, Embiid had an easy bunny right under the basket, and he missed that. But I know a lot of people are not going to talk about that. They're going to focus on the shot that Tobias Harris missed, even though Embiid also missed the same thing right under the basket. Now, 2 guys were on him, so you can say it was contested, but they were guards. I mean, Jaime Jaquez and Tyler Hero should not bother Embiid's shot underneath the basket because they're not. I mean, they're not as tall as him, but I know a lot of people are not going to talk about it. They're just going to focus on Tobias Harris and bash Tobias Harris. But hey, it is what it is. Rick said, yeah, he can't. Yeah, I can't wait too, bro. I definitely can't wait, and we gonna definitely. This is definitely gonna be a fun series, bro. It's definitely gonna be a fun series. Tune said, drop the link, bro. I'm a demolish Tune, bro. He don't. He don't want to. He don't want to come up. He don't want to come up on here, bro. Happier. Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Tuna Sports says, don't act like Jimmy wasn't talking y'all cookies on defense. He wasn't taking. I mean, he was. I mean, I did say that he caught Embiid. I think Embiid was. I mean, 2 of those plays he was standing on the block, and he already had a double team, and then Butler came, and that was a triple team, and he poked the ball, and then he stole it and went on the other end and scored on the scored in transition. Yeah, he did. I mean, he did get 5 steals. I'm not taking that away from him. He did have a solid game defensively, but offensively, he didn't really have a good offensive game. I mean, 19 points. That's playoff Jimmy. That's what you think playoff Jimmy is? I mean, if that's playoff Jimmy, then Miami going home in the first round, bro. If they make the playoffs. Shout out to Derillas, bro. I appreciate you for stopping by, bro. I appreciate you for stopping by. Tuna Sports says Boo Birds was out for Tobias. Yeah, bro. Just One Baby Podcast. I appreciate you, T Sweezy, for stopping by, bro. Look at Tuna Sports. Hey, yeah, he is. He picked Miami to win. So I know that he's a little salty because Miami didn't get the win tonight. But hey, it is what it is, bro. Nah, bro. You definitely hating on the Sixers. Yeah, he on Herm shit. Yeah, that's Herm. That's what Hearn be doing. But let me get to the second half and talk about the turning points in this game and how the 76ers were able to win this game. Now the Sixers finished the second quarter with only 17 points. 17 points, and that's terrible. They only scored five. They were 5 of 19 against Miami zone defense. And T Sweezy, I need to say this. Y'all gonna have to figure out that zone defense if y'all play Miami in that first round. Because Miami, they run a lot of zones. And I think Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, they really struggle with the zone. But on the last time y'all played them, Kristaps Porzingis did have some success. He was cooking. He was cooking against the zone. So hopefully Kristaps can definitely, make something happen against the Miami Heat if y'all face them in the first round because they're gonna run a lot of zone, a lot of 2-3 zones, a lot of 1-3-1 zones, and a lot of 2-2-1 press, 2-2-1 full court press. So I'm gonna definitely look forward to it. But let's get into the third quarter and let's I'm not planning to do a long live tonight. So the third quarter starts and our best players still not being aggressive. Now, Embiid was so trash in that second quarter. Making bad passes, telegraphing passes, not getting back on defense. Just losing the ball, not getting back in transition, and just making it so easy for the Miami Heat in that second quarter. And he came into the third quarter not being aggressive, but there was a play where he finally went down low and he forced his way to the basket and he was able to score. I think that was an and one. So he got to the free throw line and made a couple free. No, just made one free throw, and then the next play, I think Buddy Hield had a steal on defense. So it was like a transition. We was on a fast break, and Buddy Hield, and I was surprised that Buddy Hield did this. So shout out to Buddy Hield. He had a play where he got the steal, and usually Buddy Hield misses a lot. He misses a lot of layups at the basket, contested or not contested. But this time around, he got the steal. He ran down the floor on the other side. He did a Euro step. I mean, not a Euro step, but a side step, and pump fake the defender, and he laid the ball up and in. And I was like, okay, I see Buddy. I see he's getting better because Buddy Hield. I mean, I checked his stats, and from 0 to 12, I mean 0 to 3 feet, he's only shooting about 13 or 14% at the rim, which is so terrible. So he's definitely getting better. And as a shooter, when you get these easy layups, the basket starts getting bigger, and that's when you start making your shots. And he did make a couple shots in this game to help the Sixers cut down the lead because at some point the Sixers were down, I think, by 13 points. So with Buddy Hield stepping up and getting that layup, I think that layup did help him get into some sort of offensive rhythm because he started making shots, and it just seemed like every offensive possession from Buddy Hield, something great happened for the Sixers because he was either scoring or he was making a play for somebody else, or he would dish it out to the corner, and whoever was in the corner would swing it to whoever was on the wing, and then the Sixers were definitely capitalizing on plays like that. A drive, kick, and swing, or a drive, kick, and dish. Humble says, "I knew Philly was gonna win. They can beat anyone." I believe that, bro. I believe that too. I absolutely believe that. Tuna Sports says, "I'm just listening." Tuna Sports, I'm gonna definitely catch you, bro. Y'all face the Magic. Trust me, I'm gonna definitely get you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. DFJ and I talked. He told me Philly has a lot to offer. Yeah, we definitely do. And it's just a shame that Embiid is still limping. I mean, he's still showing some signs of injury. So I'm just not, confident in a deep postseason run. But I do believe that we can definitely beat the Knicks in the first round. I just believe it. I was a free agent. Oh, you still a free agent, bro? We accepting fans, bro. So we'll definitely take you anytime. So anytime you're ready, bro, just let me know. But I think Buddy Hield getting into a rhythm offensively, getting those quick points at the basket and making some threes, that really helped the Sixers. And then the Sixers ended up going on a 9-0 run in that first quarter. I mean, not not in that first quarter, but in the third quarter. And then Buddy Hield did ended up, getting a layup at the basket, which cut the lead. I think he cut the lead to 2 points because the Sixers were down. The Sixers were down huge heading into the first half, but going on the run, with Buddy Hield on the floor and Cameron Payne on the floor. I think Cameron Payne checked in the third. That was the first time he checked into the game, which I was surprised because um I thought Nick Nurse was going to utilize his services early on in this game right here, but he didn't do that. So Nick Nurse had something different underneath his sleeve. So shout out to Nick Nurse, putting Cameron Payne in the third quarter, and he hit a corner three, and that was a huge corner three that he hit. But um, the Sixers did play some good defense on the Miami Heat, and we put Nico on Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy was making it. I mean, Nico was making it tough for Jimmy Butler. Now Jimmy was trying to, do those weak ass pump fakes and get to the free throw line, but he wasn't getting those calls on Nico because Nico's a smarter defender. I mean, Kelly Oubre sometimes Kelly Oubre gets out of control sometimes, and he does a lot of boneheaded plays defensively and offensively. But as soon as we put Nico, on Jimmy Butler, Nico was making some smart plays. He was making the right reads. He was making it difficult for Jimmy. I mean, Jimmy did score on him, but Nico made sure that Jimmy Butler worked. He worked hard for every single bucket, and that really helped the Sixers because the Sixers only held the Sixers were able to hold the Miami Heat to 23 points in that third quarter, and the Sixers ended up scoring 30. I think that was the most points they had scored at the time because in the first quarter the Sixers only had 22 points, and in the second they only scored 17. But I don't know why or what Miami was doing. I think they went away from what was working for them, and what was working for them, they were playing that zone defense, which forced the Sixers to take some bad shots. It forced the Sixers to turn the ball over in spurts, and it just gave the Miami Heat some momentum to go on a run offensively. But in the third quarter, it seemed like they just went away from it. Now, why did they go away from it? I just don't know. But them going away from the zone defense, that really helped the Sixers, and the Sixers started going on runs, and Maxi and Embiid were still struggling, but Nico came up. He came up huge for the Sixers. I think Nico hit six threes in this game right here. This game is definitely going to be remembered as the Nico Batum game because Nico was making some huge plays offensively and defensively because he was guarding Jimmy Butler on the other end. He was guarding Tyler Hero on the other end, and he was making it difficult for both of them. I think Tyler Hero did end up finishing this game. He shot 9 for 27. Now I don't know why Tyler Hero's taking 27 shots. I mean, you got Jimmy and you got Bam on the floor. So I mean, Jimmy did take 18 shots, which is cool, but it's not enough in my opinion. But Bam only had 9 shots. So I'm questioning why Tyler's taking 27 shots because he wasn't. I mean, 9 for 27. That's terrible. So he missed like 18 shots. That is so terrible for the Miami Heat. Now, if they really want to make another deep postseason run and make it to the finals, I don't think Tyler Hero taking 27 shots will be a recipe for this. I mean, will be a recipe for success. It's not going to work because you need to spread the ball around, and he needs to take a lot of smart shots. 27 shots, 4 for 14 from the three. That is not. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. And teams will definitely live with you taking shots like that. You taking bad shots like that because you're definitely going to miss. So if you're missing, you're making your job much more easier, in my opinion. Tuna Sports says humble. Sixers got to get out the second round. Which I mean, yeah, bro, you're not saying anything new, but the same thing applies to Donovan Mitchell. So yeah, same thing applies to Donovan Mitchell. Big fan Breezy, bro. I appreciate you for stopping by again. Hey, Big fan Breezy is a Brooklyn Nets fan. Y'all can go sub to him. He really breaks down the game very, very well. I like his analysis and and what he brings to his content. I mean, he creates, he comes up with names for his players, which I think that's cool. The game ball goes to Batum. Oh yeah, definitely, because Maxi was trash and B was trash. They were being suffocated by that zone defense. I mean, they were triple teaming Embiid, and Maxey was getting blitzed and being trapped. I mean, he got trapped in the corner multiple times, but he was able to get rid of it. He was able to make the right pass on time. I mean, he wasn't like Embiid. Embiid will get trapped and hold on to the ball, and then when he finally passes it, somebody will be in the passing lane, and he'll end up turning it over. But Maxey was not doing that, even though Maxey did have back-to-back turnovers in the first quarter. But down the stretch, I mean, in the third, he was making some good passes because what you call it, Miami was blitzing him, and he was making the right play, getting rid of the ball. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Smash that like button, y'all. If y'all in here, please make sure you smash that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you hit the sub button and hit the bell notification as well. Um, Tuna Sports says season high. Yeah, it's definitely it definitely got to be a season high because I ain't never seen him drop 20 points in the Sixers uniform. So this definitely got to be a season high. He's only averaging 5 points now coming into this game. I mean, 20 points. Making six of 10 threes. I mean, that was huge. The Sixers really needed that because the Sixers were struggling from the three, and he came off the bench and giving you being hot from the three. That really helped us. But at some point, I mean, some point to end the third, Embiid tried to kill the momentum. And how did he try to kill the momentum? I think Cameron Payne, after Cameron Payne hit that shot, Nico hit a shot, and then Buddy Hield hit a shot, and then Embiid he wanted to get into the action, and he got double teamed in the short corner. And instead of him, Nico was right behind him. Instead of him passing the ball, he held onto it, and then the triple team came in, and then he put up a Hail Mary when he ended up missing that shot. And I was like, Embiid, you're making your life so difficult. I mean, already you're not having a good game offensively. Just make the right play. Just give it to whoever's hot. Nico was standing right behind you. It would have just been better to just give it to him and just get out of the way and just watch him shoot it because he was hot. And the worst thing possible to do is to, let somebody be hot and just let them cool off. But I mean, Embiid try to be Embiid, try to get into the action. But um he didn't have his good game offensively in this one. I think Embiid finished with let me see, 23 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. I mean, an off night, he still gave you 23 points, but if you look at his field goal percentage, 35%, that is terrible because he was 6 for 17. And most of that came in that second, because Miami was playing a lot of zones in that second quarter. And when they put two on the ball, instead of him passing it, he wants to get himself going offensively. He'll end up shooting the ball. And sometimes he was just taking some bad mid range shots. Now, these are shots that usually he can make. I mean, these are shots that he can make, but he was just missing them because they neutralized him. They put him in a straitjacket, and that was great team defense. I definitely have to give Spo his flowers on that because Miami did play some good team defense in the second, but in the third, for whatever reason, they just went away from it, and that made the job of the Sixers much more easier, in my opinion. Um, Bruce says, "Yeah, yeah, Bruce, we appreciate it." I thought after the second quarter, I thought the Sixers was going to lose because 17 points that really demoralizes you. But they came out stronger in the second half, and they were able to put the game away, and that's what really matters. Tuna Sports says, "Will this be a part of his documentary?" Maybe. I mean, what if the Sixers end up winning the championship? I mean, and he hits a buzzer beating game winner. I mean, who knows, right? No, I'm just kidding, bro. Damn, gotta celebrate Batum for tonight. Absolutely, this the Nico Batum game tonight, and I'm not giving nobody props, even though Embiid and Maxi are the first and second options on this team. They're the best players on this team, but they were trash. They were definitely trash. But this goes back to my pregame live that I did. I said if you want to be successful against the zone defense, you need a good passer, you need some 3-point shooters, and you need some good you need some good cutters, guys that can make backdoor cuts, catch the defense off guard. and get to the free throw line, finish at the basket and possibly get some and ones. And Nico helped us a lot. Buddy Hield came off the bench, helped us a lot. Cameron Payne did make that one 3-pointer that he took, which it helped us. But I think the Sixers did struggle from the three, but Nico hitting those six threes, that really helped us a lot. But let's get into the fourth. And the fourth is where everything was going the Sixers' way. Now, the fourth quarter started. I think the Sixers were down by 8 points in the fourth. Now the Sixers were down by 5 points, and the Sixers started off. I think they gave the ball to Kelly Oubre, and he drove to the basket, and he finished with the layup. That was a tough layup because he finished over, I think, two or three guys down low. I think it was Bam, it was Haywood Highsmith, and somebody else. I don't know if that was Jaime Jaquez or Tyler Hero, but he did finish. It was a contested layup, and I was even surprised because he finished with the offhand. So, huge shout out to Kelly Oubre for making that tough layup. But the Sixers then get a stop, and then we swing, and then on the other end, we swing the ball. We get the open man. I think Embiid was open at the time, and Embiid ended up, making that huge three, and we tied the game at 74. That was the first tie since the first quarter because Miami did, they had a huge lead after that first half, but Embiid making that huge three, that really helped the Sixers, and the Sixers definitely made a run, and they capitalized on that three. Bruce says Tobias Harris is the Andrew Wiggins of the East. I mean, I'm not gonna debate that, bro. I'm not gonna fight that. That is true. It definitely is true. uh, that's an interesting comparison. Yeah, it is an interesting. But I mean, Wiggins is a better player than Tobias Harris, but I do get the comparison. I definitely get the comparison. Nico Last Dance. I thought he was retiring after this season. That's why I said documentary. I mean, we don't know. I mean, what if the Sixers end up winning? I mean, he might sign another, veterans minimum, 2 mil, 3 mil, who knows? But yeah, I heard he was gonna retire after this season. But hopefully the Sixers can win a championship. um, yeah, hopefully the Sixers can win a championship. That would be so cool. Humble Man says, I respect tuning you both. I respect tuning you both, man. Yeah, I deserve everything that's gonna be coming for y'all in the future. Yeah, I appreciate that, Humble. Yeah, and tuning sports, yeah, he definitely puts in a lot of work, and he shows a lot of support to others. So yeah, I appreciate you, bro. I definitely appreciate you. But after the 76ers they tie the game at 74. Eric Spoelstra calls a timeout, and he was so pissed off because he felt like the Sixers were getting away with some offensive fouls that the refs were not calling. But I mean, this game was physical. I mean, Miami did foul the Sixers multiple times, but we wasn't getting to the free throw line for whatever reason. I mean, there was a play where Maxi drove to the basket and Haywood Highsmith, he was laying the ball up. Haywood Highsmith, he fouls him. Maxi loses the ball. He catches it with his left hand and he's able to finish it, but Maxi doesn't get the call. He doesn't get the and one for it. Now let me see how many free throws Maxi shot in this game right here. Maxi did end up finishing this game shooting. He took 6 free throws. I think most of them came at the end because Miami was playing that foul game, and that's when Maxi had most of his free throws at. But for the most part, he wasn't getting to the free throw line because this was a physical game. It really was. But yeah, so Espo calls timeout. Um, we come. I mean, they check back into the game, and Miami missed. I think they made the shot. I think it was Haywood Highsmith who made the shot, and Buddy Hield, he gets a layup. Now, I did praise him those first two times when he drove to the basket and made those layups. When he made those two layups, I gave him a ton of credit for it. But in the fourth, the Sixers really need to go up and take the lead, and he misses a contested layup. He misses a contested layup right at the basket. Now, that was a layup that he was supposed to make because it wasn't too much contact. Now it was contested, but it wasn't too much contact. So I felt like he should have made that layup. That was a makeable layup, but he ends up missing. He ends up missing it. He ends up missing the layup, and then Miami in the fourth. It felt like Miami was getting a lot of offensive rebounds in the fourth. Now, if I take a look at the rebounding difference, I did say that the Sixers had to get on the glass, but taking a look at the rebounds, Miami did finish with 47 rebounds, and the Sixers had 49. So the Sixers out rebounded them by just 2 rebounds. But in the fourth, it felt like they got every offensive rebound. Haywood Highsmith was getting offensive rebounds. Jaime Jaquez, Triple J, I call him Triple J. He was getting a lot of offensive rebounds, and you had Dylan Wright, fighting on the glass and getting rebounds over Embiid, and that was terrible. The Sixers they had to do a better job. I mean, Embiid did end up with 15 rebounds, but there were some rebounds where he should have got. And if he had got those rebounds, he probably would have had a 20-20 game. But um Tobias Harris he gave you 10 rebounds. Kelly Oubre gave you 8 rebounds. Now I did say that they have to rebound as a unit, and Tobias Harris, Kelly Oubre, Joel Embiid, Paul Reed, and Nico, they have to get on the glass and do a better job cleaning glass. And Nico, he gave you 5 rebounds off the bench, which is good. Paul Reed only gave you 2, but he didn't really play a lot of minutes. He only played 9 minutes and gave you 2 rebounds. I'm not mad at it, but those offensive rebounds, the Heat didn't really capitalize on those offensive rebounds as they did the first 3 quarters. Because the first 3 quarters, when they forced the Sixers into a turnover, they were definitely capitalizing on those turnovers. And I think they scored like 15 points on. They scored 15 points off of those turnovers. But in the fourth, they was getting those offensive rebounds, but they didn't really capitalize on it as much. And the Sixers were able to get away with it. But against the Knicks, you're not going to get away with it because the Knicks are one of the best offensive rebounding team in the league. So if you really want to beat the Knicks, you have to do a better job rebounding the basketball. Now we're gonna preview that. We're gonna preview that playoff series, not tonight, but we're definitely gonna talk about that. But in the fourth, yeah, they did get a couple offensive rebounds. Kevin Love, Delon Wright, Triple J, Haywood Highsmith. And I really like how Haywood Highsmith plays. Now he did play for the Sixers back in 2019, but we ended up waiving him, cutting him, whatever happened. But we ended up cutting him. We didn't keep him. But if Haywood Highsmith was on this team, I think he'd definitely be a solid 3-and-D guy because he's a good perimeter defender, like they call him. They call him Locksmith. Like he's a really good defender. He does a solid job when he guards Jason Tatum and some other perimeter players in the NBA. So shout out to Haywood Highsmith. I really like the effort that he plays with. Shout out to Caleb Martin too. Now Caleb Martin did help the Sixers when he missed those 2 free throws, and I mean the fans did get probably gonna get some chicken nuggets out of it. But yeah, he did help us because he has some unforced turnovers, which bad passes, stepping on the sideline. Yeah, stepping on the sidelines. These are errors that should not be happening. And traveling. I think Delon Wright turned the ball over once when he traveled. These are unforced errors that shouldn't be happening, especially in the game like this, because when you win, you're in the playoffs and you don't have to play an extra game than to get just one day of rest. But I appreciate the Miami Heat for making those mistakes. I definitely appreciate them. And yeah, with them getting those offensive rebounds, but the Sixers did um they ended up making their threes. Now, Miami went back to the zone in the fourth because they thought that was the only way that they can win this game. But I think at that time it was a little too late because Nico was hot, Buddy Hield was hot, and Embiid got into the action. He forced his way into the action, and he was making shots. And I think Nico hit a three, and that three that he hit, it put the Sixers up by 3 points. I think it was 89 to 86, and that was the first lead since the first quarter. And Batum he was making some threes. Like I said, he made 6 threes, and he was playing some great perimeter defense on Tyler Hero. He was playing some great defense on Jimmy Butler, and I think he's a huge reason why those 2 guys had inefficient shooting nights. Now Jimmy, like I said, Tuna Sports was talking all that playoff Jimmy thing. Jimmy did finish this game with 5. He was 5 of 18 from the field. That's 27%. And Tyler Hero, 9 of 27. So he missed 18 shots. He missed 18 shots. That's terrible for the Miami Heat. That's definitely terrible. It's terrible for the Miami Heat, but Jimmy was still doing Jimmy. He was still doing Jimmy stuff, and he was getting those blind, those blind side or blind spot, like how I like to call it. He was getting those blind spot, steals, and sometimes Embiid, like I said, man, when you get the ball, when they put two on the ball, just pass the basketball. Don't try to make it so difficult on yourself. Just pass the basketball, make the right play, and set a screen, get into another position, call for the ball, and try to establish your will down low. And that's easy. But Embiid try to make things difficult on himself. He sees a double team. He holds onto the ball. Jimmy pokes it, and he runs down the other end, and he gets 2 easy points. Those plays can't be happening in the playoffs. And Nick Nurse should definitely address that. And the Sixers have to do a better job. I mean, not only the Sixers, Embiid needs to do a better job at getting rid of the basketball when he gets double teamed. Because my coaches used to tell me, yo, you can't run away from a double team. So when you see it coming, just get rid of it. And sometimes you have to anticipate a double team coming if you're that great, because teams are definitely going to double team you nine times out of 10. So that's that's uh that's on Embiid, but Nico kept doing Nico stuff, and Maxi drove to the basket. And he finished he was able to clean Maxi's mess. He got the offensive rebound and he put it back up and in. And you know, I was about to say Jaren Jackson Jr., but Jaime Jaquez, he turns the ball over. We run a fast break, and Embiid hits a three. They swing the ball to the top of the key, and Embiid is able to hit a three. And that three right there kind of like got the Sixers going. And after Embiid made that three, I was sure that the Sixers was going to win this game tonight. Tuna Sports, Tuna, you definitely do a solid job. No social media. I get my information from y'all. Number love. I appreciate you, humble. I appreciate you. And shout out to my man Rick Masters, bro. I appreciate you for stopping, but I know you can't get on. But I'm gonna definitely drop the link anyway, because I got like 10 more minutes that I gotta be on. If you watch the game and you want to give your thoughts on it, you can definitely come in and tell me what you think about what happened tonight. But yeah, I know Tuna Sports. I know you I know you pissed off because you didn't win, but after Embiid hits that three, Tyler Hero responds with his own 3-pointer, and he cuts the lead to 5 points. I believe, but we had a play where Nico was getting happy that he was putting the ball on the floor. You know what I'm saying? He was making plays, but there was a play where Embiid set a screen for him, and he dribbled, he got to the free throw line, and he took a free throw line jumper, and he missed it. And I was like, bro, that's a bad shot. Why would you take that? Because that's not your game. But Embiid out of nowhere gets an offensive rebound. He puts it up and gets fouled on that shot. And I was like, oh, okay, we're definitely gonna win this game right here. And I got my man Rick Masters. What's good, Rick?
What's good? What's good, Andre? How you doing, man?
Man, I feel great, man. We punched our ticket into the playoffs. That's all I can ask for, bro.
That's all you can do, man. And congrats on the win, man.
Mhm.
So one thing I will say is that I don't know if you agree with this, but the communication on that Sixers team was a little poor because they kept picking Embiid, and when they kept, usually your teammates would be like, "Yo, watch for the blind side, watch for
Right,
the opponent running up on you," but you could tell that's more of a communication issue. The biggest thing is because I know Embiid just got back. Now, the only thing I worry about if I was a 76ers fan is like he just came back because he played well. I was actually surprised how fast he was moving. It looked like he definitely keeping himself in shape because Big Boy was moving, man. But the problem is that I didn't like how the Miami Heat was just easily getting to the basket. And then, of course, the 76ers, they throw these long passes. And it's like we already know that the Miami Heat like to stagger and like look for those long passes. So I'm always thinking about teams. I think about teams like the Clips. I think about a couple of teams I'm thinking about right now. Definitely ain't the Bucks though. 'Cause y'all might end up beating us. I'm praying. Uh, I'll just keep it real.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's that one team? Hell, even the Lakers are dangerous if you're not careful with stuff like that. The
Mhm.
biggest thing to me, honestly, is that they need to communicate a lot better than what they did tonight, because ultimately, obviously, Embiid made a big impact, 20 points, 15 rebounds. Your boy Batum, shit, I don't know what happened. Man just turned into Jordan out of nowhere. Like, had a clutch gene tonight. And he's
Yeah.
always been good, but he literally
Mhm.
just came in the clutch for that team tonight.
He
And
sure did.
then Maxi, he gonna be Maxi now. I did notice they have. I think y'all got Laurie now. I think y'all got Laurie.
Oh yeah,
So
Kyle Lowry. Yeah.
yeah, Kyle Laurie. So I did
Mhm.
notice, like, Maxi. I really have nothing bad to say about him. I think he's a phenomenal player, but I feel like he needs to learn how to pace the team. Like, sometimes he'll move too fast in transition, especially when we got Embiid coming off an injury. Even though Embiid's moving pretty good, sometimes I think he kind of leaves Embiid out the play. Unless you got an open layup or open dunk, that's all
Mhm.
fine. But sometimes I think he moves a little too fast. And then when he moves too fast, there's nobody there to recover and help you out. And then on top of that, I noticed too, the Miami Heat, what all they were really doing was getting a lot of steals, and then they were passing that ball around. And
Right.
so I think Nick Nurse, now I could be wrong, but when I was watching the game, I think Nick Nurse kind of just copied them. Because once they started passing that ball around, the 76ers, I mean, even Embiid was getting open 3-point shots. So
Right. In that
it's
second
almost
half.
exactly. And that's why I do love Nick Nurse for you guys, because he's one of those coaches that can change on the fly. It really came down to coach versus coach tonight. But the biggest thing that I saw at the 76ers is that pacing needs to get a little bit more tight. You know what I mean? And then
Mhm.
also that communication and those long passes. Because when it comes down to it, I'm already imagining when they play against the Bucks. Now, Giannis, obviously, if hopefully he comes back decent. Because if not, like I said, Embiid's looking pretty good. But if he comes back at any percentage of where how we said the other day, how he'll just take off with the ball, this is where I need Maxi and people like that to really make sure Embiid is in the play. Because the thing about Giannis is he's a one trick pony. He's gonna take off. And it's like, one thing I noticed about the 76ers, once they made or miss a shot, especially if they're, trying to go for that offensive rebound, nobody was really getting back as fast. And then on top of that, I saw a lot of like letting guys shoot in a sense. It's like they'll pass the ball around the key, and then I really wouldn't see guys jump out on defense. And of course, I think about Lopez. Hell, Giannis even gets a little hot sometimes and streaky around the three. And then I think about what's his name? Lillard, of course. Now, Lillard, to me, he's streaky. Sometimes he's on, sometimes he's not. So if he ain't on, you really ain't got to worry about him. But when he's on, that's when it gets dangerous. So
Yeah.
it's really those main things that I saw as far as communication, not really getting back, not letting them be set up in the play, not communicating. But those are little things that you can pretty much fix. Like, I wouldn't be too concerned in a sense, but I feel like, Nick Nurse is definitely going to run that by them because he's an awesome coach. But all in all, if they can tighten up as a team, it should be a pretty good series. And like I said, wouldn't be surprised if they make Giannis and them run for that for that series. Because if they can tighten it up, man, and play more, kind of like the Heat, play more together, it'll be pretty tough to beat them, man. So, but congrats on the win.
All right. Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. And Rick, you did make some, some solid points. And me personally, I believe the communication got a little better. It didn't get all the way great, but it was better in the second half than what it was in the first half. And from
I
what
agree.
Yeah, and from what Tuna Sports, his comments right here, he said y'all had a lot of turnovers in in the first half, bad possessions, which I agree because um Miami was throwing that zone out there and that 2-2-1 press, and the Sixers, for whatever reason, they had difficulties trying to break that press, and they ended up turning the ball over 11 times in that first half. And Miami, like I said, they had 15 points off of those turnovers, so they capitalized on their opportunities. They had their missed opportunities. They got the offensive rebounds, kicked it out to the corner, sometimes kicked it out to the wing or top of the key, and they were scoring on that. So the Sixers definitely need to make. They have to do a better job rebounding. They have to do a better job flying out to the 3-point line, running guys off the 3-point line. And just like you said, sometimes they're just not rotating to guys on the 3-point line. And as a result, they end up giving guys a lot of open 3-pointers. And Caleb Martin did get a lot of open threes. Dylan Wright hit some open threes. I think we was lucky that Tyler Hero was streaky because he was 4 for 14. Now, if he gets hot, he can make 9, 10 threes. But the Sixers just got lucky that Tyler Hero wasn't making threes, and we was lucky that Duncan Robinson then played as well. But I absolutely agree with what you said. Embiid has to be better. The communication as a team have to be better. If somebody is coming from his blind spot, like yo, you need to alert him to make him aware that yo, there's somebody approaching. So yo, take care of the basketball. But me personally, I believe if he makes the right play every single time and not hold on to the ball as long as he does, most of these steals, some of these steals that Jimmy Butler had, those wouldn't happen in the first place because you got rid of the ball. But he sees a double team, he holds onto the ball, and then Jimmy Butler comes in, and that's a triple team right there. And then he pokes it, he gets it, and he goes down the other end and he scores. I think plays like that, it can be prevented, even though I believe that they have to communicate better. I just think that plays like that can be avoided if he gets rid of the basketball because you're already double teamed. No need for a triple team to come in before you pass the basketball, in my opinion. But yeah, I absolutely agree. They have to communicate better. And that's something that Nick Nurse will definitely go over with them as they get ready to play the Knicks on Saturday night.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I kind of already said everything, but the biggest part for
Mhm.
me is just they really, really gonna have to make sure Embiid's in the picture. Like that's the biggest thing because I mean, even tonight when I was watching Embiid again, man, that man looked like he's been taking care of himself. Like Embiid is moving to be that big, he's moving around. And so, I kind of get frustrated for him because it's like when you got a big man like Embiid at 7 feet and that big and heavy and that strong, it's like it's almost like a football reference. It's like don't wear your defense out. Don't quit turning the ball over because the more you play your defense in a football game, they can't hang in there in the fourth quarter. They get tired. So that's how I'm
Right.
looking at it for Embiid. It's like when the game started, it's like my man is like moving. He booming. He got a juice of energy. And then when they kept turning that ball over, now he's trying to take 300 something pounds and pivot on one foot and run back, and you just wearing him down. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you gonna need Embiid in them fourth quarters, like.
Yeah, that is true, but that definitely is true. I was about to say something. I just forgot. What was I about to say? Lost my train of thought. Uh, God.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, phenomenal on the free throws. I think y'all were 21 and 23. So good free throw percentage. I think y'all were like 92, 93% as a team.
Yeah, I
So
think
I mean,
they only missed two free
they
throws.
only
I
missed two.
think Embiid missed one, Tobias missed one.
They only missed one. So it even goes to show like the simple fundamentals can win games sometimes. And big shout out to Nick Nurse though. That's what our coaches do, make a big difference because like I said, in that first half, I mean, it was almost like it was about to run away. And you could tell after that second half, Nick Nurse told them like a different game plan because they came out passing that ball more. So that's the biggest thing that I would say that the 76ers got is Nick Nurse, man. Like you could tell when you got good coaching because it could have easily turned into a barn fire. But it's like as soon as they came back out, they came back in that fourth quarter, and fourth quarter was like almost like a slugfest to me. It was just back and
Right.
forth, back and forth. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, Batum stepped up, man. And then of course, I mean, overall, even y'all's bench, I got to give a big shout out to y'all's bench because usually when the stars got to sit out, the bench really can make a big difference too for a team. And so
Right.
y'all's bench like came in the clutch. So all in all, man, it's like, is you guys beat a very tough team. A lot of people that don't really understand basketball, don't watch it as much. That was a certified legit tough team. Like the Miami Heat ain't no joke. So, and it makes sense why it came down to the wire like that. But all I know is that when you when they Nick Nurse or whoever, mainly Nick Nurse, whenever he talks to those guys, he definitely has to get on them about being more chemistry wise, being more like netted together, kind of like how the Heat are. Because at the end of the day, man, if they can get that communication going, they can get that pace of game going. Because really, like I said, you're gonna need Embiid, especially against the Milwaukee Bucks, because Giannis already know what he's gonna try to do if he's not too injured. He's gonna try to outrun Embiid. That's really all he can do because Embiid's stronger than him. So he's gonna try to outrun, and hopefully Nick Nurse, creates a plan where it's like we have to get back, or we have to at least put guys in a certain area on the court, almost like a staggered, maybe a 2-2-1 or whatever, to where Embiid can get back. Because even tonight, just watching the Heat, that paint was too open for me. I ain't like it. And I'm just like, now you got somebody like Giannis, that's all he wants to do. He wants to get to the paint. So
Right.
it's like, I know Nick Nurse is probably already planning, but it's like they gonna really have to slow down or pace the game out to where Embiid is definitely somewhere in that paint, and then they cannot turn that ball over. Cause I mean, once Giannis is going, he's going straight for the rack. So,
Right. Yeah.
but man, look, y'all look good, man. Y'all look good, and you know me, man. I'm not like like LeBron fans. Like I speak reality. Like it's gonna be a tough match because if Lillard don't come with his A game, if Giannis is still is hurting, because I know he's gonna play mentally. Like Giannis is gonna play hard, but if he's still hurting, I know he's gonna try to play through it. But you know, I just hope that nobody gets hurt in this series, because these are one of those rounds where it's going to be historical if both teams are playing good.
Right. Right. I agree. And the issues with the turnovers, like I said, they had 11 turnovers, but in the second half in the first half they had 11, but in the second half they had 4. So they were making smarter plays. They were not holding on to the ball. And B was not holding on to the ball that much. And they were making smart passes, the right reads, and it all worked out for them. It worked out for them great. You can't turn the ball over that much and expect to win a basketball game. And the pace thing that you said, I mean, I see sometimes we get the rebound and Maxi takes 3 dribbles and
He gone.
he
He's
gone,
gone.
bro. And
And
it
and
happens.
again, don't get me wrong. If you open, take it. I ain't don't slow down if you got it. But there's
Right.
just certain plays where it's like, and I know he's a confident young dude. Like hell, I believe in him. But sometimes it's almost like that's where fundamentals and reading the court really has to come into play. Because
Mhm.
even though you're fast and you take off, sometimes your players are not even in the mix with you. Like I said, Embiid is way in the back somewhere. And you
Mhm.
kind of want Embiid to be in the play sometimes, especially like I said, in those latter quarters where third and fourth quarter really matters. So it's like, don't wear your teammates out, especially Embiid. Like you don't want to wear them out.
Right, right. I mean, yeah, sometimes Maxi takes off, but the other team gets their defense set. You see 3, 4 guys back there already, and then he's the only one. So he has to back the ball. He has to back it out a little bit, pause if necessary, and wait for his other guys to show up in the picture before the Sixers can get into their sets. So yeah, I do agree with you on that. But I mean, if you have an open floor, like an open court, yeah. I mean, even
Take off.
Embiid don't
Yeah,
got
take off.
yeah, take off. And B don't even gotta, he don't gotta run. All you gotta do is stay back because when you lay the ball up, you gotta get back and get your defense set. So ain't no need for Embiid to get past half court and get down the floor. But when the other team gets their defense set, yeah, you definitely have to you gotta be under control sometimes. And yeah, Maxi does get out of control, kind of like a Russell Westbrook type thing. Him, Buddy Hield, Cameron Payne, like these are fast guards. And playing with Embiid, you have to slow down for him sometimes. So yeah, I do agree with you on that.
Yeah, man. But all in all, man, I appreciate you letting me on the panel. Salute to you, man. And like I said, good win, man. Good win. And I pray that the Bucks and the 76ers do not have any injuries, man, because it would suck.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I just got a notification that says Jimmy Butler may have suffered a serious injury that could keep him out indefinitely. I
And
got to read the whole thing. But yeah, it did. I mean, that play, I don't know if you saw that play. I don't even know how Kelly Oubre bited on that pump fake, and he was so high, his head was almost at the level of the rim. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And he ends up, landing on Jimmy Butler's knees, which Jimmy was in a lot of pain. But I mean, Jimmy being Jimmy, he still played in that game. Jimmy's definitely he's one of the toughest players that I've seen. So he's not going to make any excuses with that injury. He played it to the end, and he didn't have a great game offensively, but defensively, he did get a lot of steals. I said five foul, 5 steals, and he was solid defensively. I think he picked up Maxi to start and he had Maxine check. Now they did double team and blitzed him time, so he did get some help. But I mean, he took the challenge defensively on Maxi, and in my opinion, I think he did a solid job. And
he did.
he was guarding Kyle Lowry on certain possessions, and he was guarding Kelly Oubre too. So defensively, he was solid, but offensively, not a great game offensively.
Yeah,
But
man. But
yeah,
win's a
I
win,
just
man. I'm from
yeah,
the old
a win is
school.
a win. Yeah. We won by 1 point. I definitely take it, but I mean, I just hope he's ready to go by Friday. I just hope that because I want to see the Miami Heat against the Boston Celtics. I want to see that again. That would be the fourth time in this decade. So I definitely want to see that. I definitely want to see that.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, we can't, all you can really pray for when it comes to injuries is that they just don't happen. Because, basketball is a
Right.
fast paced game. Nobody really tries to hurt anybody, but it's such a fast, twitchy game. So,
Hmm.
it's just one of those things where all players can do is just stay in shape the best that they know how and can. And, just hope nobody collides with anyone. So, I mean, that's one of those things you just pray for everybody that's playing in the game. But man, I'm gonna go ahead and hit this bed, man. Appreciate you letting me on. Awesome job, by the way, man. I'm loving the channel. I appreciate you letting me come on here, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you for stopping by. I didn't think you was gonna stop by because usually you don't hop on late night live streams like this. But I appreciate you for
I'm
stopping
watching. Yeah, I'm watching games and looking at stats. It's playoff time.
by. But
It is
yeah, Rick,
playoff time, man.
I appreciate you, bro.
No problem, man. Appreciate you. Have a good one.
All right, you as well.
All right.
Yeah, that was my guy, Rick Masters from the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. He does a solid job with BJ Matthews from the Pull Up Basketball Podcast. Y'all can check them out. I think Rick has some great insight on basketball, and I respect his takes. I respect his takes. I like his takes a lot. So yeah, so the Sixers win a huge game on the to punch their way to the playoffs as the 7th seed. Now, I don't know who is favored to win the series right here, but the Sixers absolutely have a chance to win the series. Um, and I think it's definitely going to be a 6 or 7 game series. I don't see the series going 5 because these are two teams that they're that good. And yeah, I just think that the Sixers can definitely win this playoff series. Now I know a lot of people are not going to favor them for whatever reasons, but the Sixers are definitely going to be favorites to win. Tune in sports if you can hop on, bro. You just hit the link, bro. I posted a link. It's up top. I don't know if you can come in, but he says Heat versus Bulls. Yeah, just like last year, and yeah, I think Miami's definitely gonna win that. If Miami lose, Big Tone, man, you might have to delete that channel because everybody gonna be on your helmet. Said Kobe White 40 ball. Yeah, they might give him the most improved player after this game. I mean, what I mean, 40 points and Maxi did struggle. Maxi finished with 19 points, 6 of 16 from the field. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I already said I don't think Maxi should be I already said I don't think Maxi should be most improved because I don't think he improved this year. He just had more of an opportunity. I mean, what he's doing this year, I believe he could have did that last year if he was the lead guard. But playing behind James Harden, playing behind Ben Simmons, as a backup center, and playing behind James Harden, you're not going to get as many opportunities. And on top of that, Harden has the ball in his hands 9 times out of 10. So you're not going to do most of the things that you're capable of doing. But him being a lead guard, he showed us what he's capable of doing. I believe he could have did this last year. But looking at Kobe White, he definitely improved. And I think me personally, I think he should win most improved, in my opinion. But a great game from the 76ers. I appreciate the effort that they came out there with in the second half. In the first half, I mean, it was so putrid. And the Philly fans made them know. Tobias Harris, missing easy bunnies at the rim. They were booing him. Joel Embiid missing a bunny at the rim. They were booing him. Tobias Harris, airballing a three. They booed him. Kyle Lowry airballing a three. He did hear it from the crowd, but I was glad that the Sixers came out in the second half and they played as great as they played. With Nico going off on the Miami Heat. I mean, I don't know what Spo was doing. I mean, leaving a hot guy open, the only guy who was the only guy who was making threes, and you leave him open, he's definitely going to make you pay for it. And I'm glad, I'm glad that Nico was able to hit those threes. I mean, he was the only person that had multiple threes besides him and Joel. I mean, Maxi only made one three. Tobias made one. Did Tobias make a three? I think he made one three, but not a lot of Sixer players made multiple threes, but Nico, this was a huge game from Nico. And if the Sixers make it deep into the playoffs, we have to definitely give Nico a lot of credit because he saved the Sixers season, in my opinion. Not just scoring wise, not just shooting threes, but he came up huge defensively, and he did make a lot of some key stops, and that huge block that he had on Tyler Hero, that was a huge play defensively, in my opinion. Him bothering Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy was trying to flop on some of those plays to get to the free throw line. Now, JJ Redick is a clown, man. JJ Redick is a clown. He was on the broadcast saying that Embiid is foul baiting. Jimmy Butler does the same thing, not once, but twice. And Doris Burke asked him, "Is this foul baiting?" And then he want to change the subject. Bro, you're a clown. You a straight clown. And that's why I never liked JJ Redick, even when he played with the Sixers. Because all he did was shoot threes. If he's not shooting threes, he's not doing anything offensively or defensively. So yeah, I never liked JJ Redick. And I'm glad he's gone. I don't even want to deal with him. I don't even want to hear his name anymore. But the Sixers win. Hopefully Jimmy's okay. I got to read this article right here and get a little bit of insight as to what happened to him. And Kelly Oubre, you got to be careful sometimes, man. I mean, was it that? I mean, going that high for a block, like God damn. I don't think I don't think Bam Adebayo even goes up that high for blocks. And shout out to Bam. What's going on, Bruce?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good, but I might have to cut this a little bit short. So
All right.
I just want you to get your tell me what you thought about this game right here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay long too. So,
Yeah. All right.
congrats to your team. You got the Knicks, so you should
Mhm.
beat the Knicks too. You should beat the Knicks, in my
I know
opinion.
it's not gonna be easy.
Um, Embiid has to play better. Tobias Harris always disappear. If not for Batum, you lose tonight.
Right. I'm not gonna argue that.
I mean, Tobias Harris has to grow up. He's not in Disney World anymore, man. You
Mhm.
know, he needs to step up, man. You're not gonna win if Tobias Harris doesn't play well. And Batum, he's gonna give you some games. He's not missing from threes, but other games he's gonna give you breaks. So enjoy this win, and you have to win one game in New York.
Right.
You have to win one game in New York, and I would try to win game one.
Yeah, steal a game on the road and try to make a statement. Yeah,
Yes. Yeah,
I'll definitely. Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah. So good luck, and we'll talk later about this when you stream. I don't know if you when are you streaming again?
Friday. Oh yeah, on Friday I'm gonna definitely go live on Friday.
All right, I'll try to be there.
All right, Bruce. I
All right,
appreciate
man. Later.
Yeah, that was my guy, Bruce Morrow, Clippers slash Warriors fan, but he's a basketball fan. He watches every game, so he definitely knows what he's talking about. But yeah, that's all I have on this game right here. Please make sure y'all hit the like button. The like button is free. Please smash that like button. If you haven't subbed already, please make sure you subscribe to this channel. I appreciate everybody that stopped by. Tuna Sports, Rick Masters, Bruce. Yeah, I think that was in Rick. The Knicks fan, he stopped in. Derilla stopped in too. And shout out to big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets. He stopped by too. But yeah, he's a Nets fan, so he would definitely be a Sixers fan. I think he'll root for the Sixers to beat the Knicks because he don't like the Knicks. So but yeah, that's what I have on this game tonight. We'll definitely be back on Friday to recap or to talk about the playoff series against the New York Knicks. Something that TuneIn Sports, we're gonna do something that TuneIn Sports team never did, which is beat the New York Knicks. And that's all I heard. That's all I got. But I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace.